Hey there again, Mary here. I'm back for another quick story that I'm calling Flip the Chip Moments. As many of you know, I've suspended the Live Like Your Nail Color podcast that I was doing, where I have been interviewing some amazing women on topics that are important to midlife women. But I've suspended it because I really need the time and the emotional energy to be present for my aging parents. My mom has dementia, and also my loved ones, including my aunt and uncle, who are also in the same town. And my uncle is in hospice right now. And the reason I'm doing this is because, you know, life is difficult, and can have some really difficult moments, but they also can be some of the most beautiful moments. And I like to capture them. And I got some feedback that they're really inspiring to others and encouraging. And there's something in it for each of you, I truly believe, because it isn't just about caregiving or about aging parents and relatives and loved ones. It's about life. So this story is about when my uncle said a plea to me that I'll never forget. And here's what happened. My uncle is in hospice right now. He's in a memory care unit, which means that he's got some cognitive issues. He's got some physical issues. Hospice says it's 6 months or less that you may live that actually can get renewed, and it may be more than that. But in this facility, it's there for his own protection, so he doesn't go off wandering, which he has sometimes. But he does not like being confined, and he's been depressed. And so his 92nd birthday was coming up, and my aunt decided to do a birthday party for him at the facility, which was great. So we went, and there were some other family members there, and other people who were at the facility as an event for the whole, the whole squad, so to speak. And he had a good time and saying happy birthday, and he got a lot of attention and had some good cake and ice cream. It was neat seeing my aunt and uncle holding hands and looking at each other. And, it's a lot of energy for everyone, particularly if you're 92 years old. So after a few hours, we were back in his room, and he was starting to, fade into some sleep and be tired. And so we said our goodbyes, and then, we closed the door, and we were walking down the hall to exit and get on the other side of the locked door. And Bill and I were still on the inside of the door, and my aunt and my cousin and had already, gone on the other side. And all of a sudden we see my uncle kind of very quickly, didn't even know he could walk that fast and be that steady, down the hallway saying, wait, wait. I stop and I turn around, and now I'm a little concerned, like he's going to want to get with us and influence, try to say, take me with you, take me away. Because he's done that in the past. But he didn't. He just stopped, and he looked at me with these eyes like the sad dog eyes. And he says, stay with me. I don't want to live my final days apart from my family. Can you do that? Wow. I kept looking at him. I put my arms around him, and I then looked at him in the eyes, and I said, I'll do everything I can. I don't want you to be alone either. And he just said, thank you. I gave him another hug. Bill was right there, and he said, yeah, I said, we'll be back as soon as we can. And he said, okay. And then what was probably 45 seconds, but felt a whole lot longer, we left and got on the other side of the door. And I'm thinking to myself, how am I going to make this happen? How is this going to be true? How can it be? Did I just lie to him? I didn't know. I just knew he made an honest request, one I could understand. He didn't want to be alone. He didn't want to die alone. He just wanted to be around his family. people he knew. I also knew I had no power of attorney. It's not my legal ability to say, well, we'll take him home. We'll let's put him in a different kind of situation. And my aunt what is not in a capacity to him to for them to live together. And it's her physical abilities and what he needs. It's just beyond her. And it happens. It's not what she wants. It's just what is. And my cousin that has situation, it's difficult. This is not easy. All the family dynamics, all the events, all the history, all the individual relationships within families, they all come to bear in these moments, particularly towards the end of life. It's complicated, but what he asked wasn't complicated. It makes sense on a human level. He wants to be seen, he wants to be valued, he wants to be heard. He just wants to be known. Well, when I got on the other side of the door, my aunt and my cousin saw these big eyes and they wondered why we were delayed. And I had to tell them. And, for them, all these things kind of bubble up, I'm sure, including guilt and some shame, some anger. I mean, like I said, it's complicated. And I wasn't there to tell them to say they should do this, they should do that, or they should have done this, or they should have done that. Who am I to make those assessments? It's just hard. I knew I needed them to give them the information and for them to just start to sort that out. But as Bill and I were driving home separately, I thought, and we were processing it, I said, but what can we do? There's a lot of things we can't do. We can't take him out of the facility. We can't make any medical decisions for him. We can't do those things. It's not our place and it's not our legal right. I said, Bill, what we can do is we can visit him more often. We can go 2 to 3 times a week. We can stay longer. We can bring him the things, sneak in some cookies. I won't say sneak in because, just bring in some cookies. We can give him a shave. Bill did that because he really wanted it. We could keep doing that. We can play music for him that he likes. We can do some of those things. And so we made that decision. And it's not an easy decision sometimes when you're trying to juggle so many other things. And what I found is that he's grateful every time. What I found is too that sometimes he remembers how long it's been since we've last seen him. Sometimes he doesn't. He's always grateful. And I've thought to myself, wow, what have I learned? What do I need to be reminded of in this flip the chip moment? One, that life's complicated. You can't change everything about someone's situation. In fact, there's a lot of things you can't change. And you certainly can't go and rewind the tape. What you can do, what is you can ask yourself, well, what can I control? What can I actually do? What's in my facility? What's in my ability? What's in my capacity? And that's one thing we could do. And so when you're feeling like you can't do much for someone or in a situation that you'd really like to be different, maybe we just need to keep it simple and ask ourselves, well, what can we do? And even when it may not feel like a lot or enough, do it. Just do it and keep doing it, or keep figuring out what else can I do, or what next do I do. It makes a difference. It makes a difference for the situation and the person. It makes a difference for you. Certainly it's made a difference for me so far. It's made an impact on on the rest of my family, both my own parents and my own. And I say that because particularly in a family unit or any kind of community where you've got relationships and you start to do even one small thing again and again, has a ripple effect. it's a positive thing, it has a positive ripple effect. If it's a negative thing, it has a negative ripple effect. Our actions do matter. That's what's beautiful. You can do small things and they can matter. You can listen and acknowledge somebody with big dog sad eyes and say yes. And say to yourself silently, I'll do what I can. So, whew. Not all of these stories are sad. This one's sad, but it's just beautiful, really, more than anything else. So if you'd like to get some more of these stories, keep up on the latest stories, which I don't know what they're going to be. You have two main options. I put the links below in this video. You can either get notified on my email list by getting on my email list, and that link's below. You can also subscribe. I'm going to put these out on my audio version on the podcast platforms and on video. I'm sorry, on YouTube. I'll put it on video format. I hope they're encouraging. Let me know, comment, like, subscribe, all those things. It means a lot to me. Take care.